Hey guys, welcome to English with Miss V. Today's topic is all about at the supermarket. So these are the essential English phrases, the essential English that you need to know when you are shopping, when you're at the market or at the supermarket. So tune in if you want to improve in this area. One thing I will say, and this is a bit random, but when I was living in Rome, I missed the supermarkets so much. In the center, there's no like big supermarkets where you can go and you buy everything that you need in one place. When I was there, I would have to go to 4 different places to buy all my groceries. And I think maybe it's because they can't fit giant supermarkets in the center of Rome, but it's something that I really missed. I love the supermarket. I love food. So, of course, I love buying food, but that's something that was a bit frustrating. Anyway, and the amount of times that I was at a supermarket and I just wanted to know how to say, like, can I have a handful of something or can I have a container of olives? I just didn't know how to say it. So I've tailored this lesson to what I wished I knew when I was living in Rome, and eventually I learned. But you're lucky because you can learn about it right now and go to the country you want. Well, yeah, an English-speaking country, and know how to ask for these things. So we're going to learn about how to ask for certain quantities. Sorry, and lots of other things. So tune in. Enough talking. Let's go. All right, so let's start with asking for help. So you're at the supermarket and you don't know where something is. What do? All right, you will have to ask for help. Now, I've talked about this 100 times that when you're about to approach someone to ask them for help, always just start with excuse me. It's just super polite and it works. Yeah, it's super polite. It's a great way to approach someone and they won't mind helping you if you've approached them in a nice way. Even if they look busy, if you say, excuse me, put a bit of desperation in your eyes as well. That helps. Excuse me, like that. All right. Excuse me, where can I find, okay? So you might say, excuse me, where could I find or where can I find the soap, for example? Excuse me, where can I find the cereal? Okay, so where can I find, and then finish that sentence. Or you might say, excuse me, do you have any, okay, excuse me, do you have any fresh bread? Okay, or you might say, excuse me, do you have any mangoes? Okay, that's a tricky one because mangoes aren't always in season. So this might actually be a question you want to ask. Is there a discount on this? So that's something that could be important because sometimes there is a discount card, but it's not clear, or maybe you thought it was on special, but now you're not sure. If you want to ask, just say, excuse me, is there a discount on this? Okay. Or, excuse me, is this discounted? Okay. Can I get a bag, please? Okay. Nowadays, you have to ask for a bag all the time. They don't just give one to you. So if they're just scanning your groceries and there's no bag yet, or they haven't asked you if you want a bag yet, you can just jump in and say, can I get a bag, please? Or could I have a bag, please? Okay, easy enough. For example, excuse me, where can I find the milk? Okay, just an example of a sentence you can use. Excuse me, where could or where can I find the eggs? All right, so this sentence works with most groceries that you could possibly be trying to find at the supermarket. This sentence works. So, important one, write it down, highlight it. Okay, when you're checking out and paying, sorry, that's cut off. Paying. So when you go to the checkout and it's time to pay, take note of some of these common phrases that you might use, all right? Write these down. I find this really, really important. So you might ask, how much does this cost? So maybe again, you weren't sure if it's discounted or not. So when you get to the counter, you might just ask, excuse me, how much does this cost? Okay. Or you might say, could you please check how much does this cost? Okay. Always be polite. Always say please. Okay. So you can say, how much does this cost? Can I pay by card? Nowadays, it's more, can I pay with cash? Or I always find myself asking, can I use cash? Because a lot of people now don't accept cash, which is insane. But anyway, so can I pay by card or can I pay with cash? Or this bottom one, okay, classic, highlight this one. This is the best way to ask. Do you accept cash? Okay. Do you accept cash? You, remember, being the store, all right? I'm not necessarily asking you, like the cash out person, the checkout person. Do you accept cash? In English, when we say you in this context, I'm referring to you all. Does the company, does the supermarket accept cash? All right. So again, how much does this cost? Repeat after me. How much does this cost? Can I pay by card? Do you accept cash? Great. Well done. Some more common phrases that you might use are these. Just on card, thanks. Can I get a receipt, please? Okay. Now, I chose these ones specifically because when I'm speaking English, these are the phrases I find myself saying all the time. So when you're at the checkout and your groceries have been scanned, most of the time I will pay by card. And so when the person says, okay, that comes to $56, I say, just on card, thanks. Guys, circle that sentence, highlight it, put a box around it. It's really fluent English talk, okay? It's just something we all say if you're paying by card. It's a really casual way of saying, just on card, thanks. Like, just that you want to pay with card. I think that is a phrase that will really make you sound like you're fluent in English, okay? So note that one down. Can I get a receipt, please? A lot of places won't just give you the receipt unless you ask for it. So if you need the receipt for later, just make sure you ask, can I get a receipt, please? Okay. Always please and thanks all the time. All right. Now, asking for specific amounts. This is so important. This is what I was talking to you all about before. When you go to the deli and you want to know how to say specific amounts, so like 100 grams of something or 1 kilo of something. All right, this helped me so much when I was learning Italian. You must know how to say specific amounts of things that you want. All right, so let's have a look at asking for quantities at the supermarket. Common phrases. If you have your notebook, please write these down. Can I have 100 grams of ham, please? I'd like 2 scoops of olives, please. Okay. So this helped me so much. I never knew how to say like scoops or spoonfuls, or I didn't know what to call that in Italian. So this is how you say it in English. Okay. Scoops. A scoop is kind of like a round amount. Okay. It's a scoop. So in a lot of delis, they will have olives or capsicums, little veggies or salads and things that you wouldn't normally ask for in grams. Okay, normally they have a big spoon in the container and they will put it into a small container using the big spoon. So it's important to know how to say, can I please have 1 scoop or 2 scoops of olives? Or can I have 2 spoonfuls? That's another important one. Spoonfuls, okay, of something. So again, I'd like 2 scoops of olives, please. Remembering a scoop, it's what ice cream comes in as well. When you order ice cream, it's 1 scoop, 2 scoops. It's the same at the supermarket. If there are olives or small products that you can buy, if there's a spoon, okay, it's scoops. Can I get a small container of hummus? I actually don't like hummus at all, but a lot of people do, so it might help you, all right? Small container, again, this helped me so much. Many times at the deli, at the supermarket, things come in containers, olives, salads, little feta bits, whatever, okay? And sometimes you just want to ask for a small container. Sometimes they have a small, medium, or large container. So you can just say, can I get a large container of hummus, please? Always saying please, okay? So always using your manners. But this really helped me a lot. When they have the containers, then that's how you would ask for it. Can I please have a small or a large container of, okay? Please write these down, study them. They helped me so much when I was shopping in Italy. Okay, let's look at some more common phrases. Could I have 2 handfuls of spinach? So just like when I said a spoonful means 1 full spoon amount, you can say a handful. So a handful means your hand is full of the product or whatever it is. So I can ask for a handful or a scoop of something, all right? I prefer to use a more casual measurement. So for me, I just say, just 2 handfuls, please, of spinach. So this is just really handy to know, okay? Could I have 2 handfuls of spinach, please? I'd like 1/2 kilo of potatoes, please. So you can ask for 1 kilo, 2 kilos, or 1/2 kilo, which is 500 grams. All right. So really important phrases to know. I really want you to note down handfuls, grams, scoops, small container, and if you want to, you can even add spoonful, okay, which is another helpful one. For example, can I have 100 grams of ham, please? Okay, very basic. We love it. Time for a quick practice. So again, we're doing the fill in the blanks. So again, pause the video if you like, read through these sentences and have a go at filling them in yourself. And then you can come back and we can mark them together. All right. So the first sentence, I'd like scoops of olives, please. Can I have grams of ham? I'd like a container of hummus. Now, I kept these really easy because for me, quantities and measurement is a hard thing to learn when you're learning another language. It's almost like it involves a bit of maths as well. So maybe that's why it's a bit more difficult. So I've kept it really easy. Again, a lot of your answers can be totally different, but it has to make sense. Okay. So there are still wrong answers that can be made. Okay. But let's have a look. I'd like. Now, if you put the number 1 here, that's incorrect. But can you tell me why it would be incorrect? Listen to this sentence. I'd like 1 scoops of olives, please. Can you work out why that sentence would be incorrect? So the reason why that sentence is incorrect is because we have the word scoops. Scoops is plural, okay, because it ends with the S. So the word scoops is plural, which means there has to be more than 1 of them. So to say 1 scoops is incorrect, all right? It has to be at least 2. At least 2. You can say 2, 3 scoops, 4 scoops, 5 scoops, as long as it's more than 1, because our word scoops is plural, meaning there is more than 1, okay? So if you put any number from 2 onwards for that sentence, it's correct. Can I have 150 grams of ham? Okay. You can say, can I have 100 grams of ham? Can I have 200 grams of ham? All right. And in case you didn't know, when you're asking for grams, I think this is really obvious, but it's always a very simple number that ends with 0. Okay. So your number has to end with 0. Or 5, maybe. No, I would never say, can I have 155 grams of ham? No, just for me, honestly, when you're asking for things in grams, just it has to end with a 0. Can I have 100 grams, 150 grams, 200 grams, 250 grams? But you can't say, can I please have 176 grams of ham? That's weird. Just don't do that. So make your number a 0 number. So I'm just going to say 100. All right. And remember, grams is plural. So if you put 1 here, if you said, can I have 1 grams? Incorrect. Okay. Grams is plural. All right. I'd like a container of hummus. Here, what I was looking for was small, medium, or large. So you can say, I'd like a small container of hummus, or I'd like a large container of hummus. All right, so we were talking about the containers in this sentence. So what I was looking for was a small, medium, or large as the answer. All right, so I'd like 2 scoops of olives, please. Can I have 100 grams of ham? I'd like a small container of hummus, please. Always use your manners, all right? Okay. Moving on. This is a little bit cut off. Sorry. All right. Challenge. Can you create your own sentences using one of today's phrases? Or just create one sentence. So create your own sentence using one of today's phrases. For example, I'd like half a kilo of tomatoes, please. So just one simple sentence, or you can do more than one if you want, where you're using the phrases that we learned today. So you might say, I'd like 1 scoop of spinach, please. So choose one of the phrases, maybe the one that you found most difficult, practice that one. So choose one or more of the phrases you've learned and put it into a sentence, always remembering to use your manners, please and thank you. Now, the ultimate shopping test. So this is like challenge 2.0, all right? Imagine you're going shopping at the supermarket or the market. Write a grocery list using the phrases from today's lesson, okay? So I want you to write a list of made up groceries that you could buy if you were going to the supermarket. But I want you to have a go at using quantities. So for example, 200 grams of cheese, a small container of yogurt, 3 handfuls of fresh basil, half a kilo of apples. So I want you to just write a long list, just practice, 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 a big fat shopping list of random things, okay, that you can use quantities to measure. All right. I want you to really practice 200 grams, small container, handfuls, spoonful, okay? You could say scoops as well, 3 scoops of something. So really just write this list as long as you want until you feel like you've done enough practice. Okay, let's move on. Extra challenge. So this is challenge 3.0. Pair up with a friend, okay? Or you can just practice out loud. I just wanted you all to have a go at doing the role play, okay? So using role play to order your groceries. So just pretend that you are the customer and there's another person, a friend, who is the person at the supermarket or the person at the deli, okay? And you need to ask that person, hi, could I please have one small container of olives? Hey, could I please have 2 handfuls of spinach? So I just want you to practice saying it out loud. Remember, when you say it and when you write it down, that's when it really sticks into your brain. So please have a go at doing that. That's all we have time for today. Hopefully you all learned something, and the next time you're at the supermarket, I hope that there's no anxiety or panic attacks because now you've learned some really useful phrases. If you wanted to continue talking about how to speak at the supermarket or anything else in English that you really want to learn, why don't you go and book your one-on-one lesson with me, a fully qualified teacher with English as my native language. So go ahead and click on the link in the description to book your one-on-one lesson with me.